So something happened in the last 3 weeks, which is that Dave copied me.
No, I didn't.
Totally did.
I bet you did.
Not even close.
Okay.
You do, Tom.
Well, like 2 years ago, I had an episode where it became evident that I needed a Charvel Blood and Skulls Warren DeMartini signature model. And it was during COVID.
Yeah.
And they weren't making them. And the wait time on one was like 23 months.
This is what I don't understand. Why? So because I've heard this not just with this model of guitar, but other artist models with other. I don't know if I should name specifically. We can edit out later, but also the George Lynch bomber model that ESP does. Similar, really long wait time. So do they not have? Like they advertise, and does that few people want these amazing guitars? I would think that they have 100 of them ready to go at all times.
I think it's like that, thinking that the person who really wants this guitar is going to wait. They're going to wait, so we might as well make the other stuff, and when the order comes in, they'll wait. But that's not true.
Like
That's not true at all.
Thing,
you
right?
have to be drunk.
Is it a pre-order thing?
Like if you go to
is it like a limited edition thing?
No, but if you go to like Sweetwater and order one, they might have them in stock now. They'll be like, "Of course, we'll take your order. Your guitar will be delivered in 2026."
Yeah, but there, it's not a
shop.
It's not the custom shop.
It's USA.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Is they should just have them. Custom shop's a different story, and also it's not. No, you're not gonna wait 2 years, 18 months, or whatever.
Unless you're waiting for a Cindy.
Unless you're waiting for a Cindy, exactly.
Or a Kelly.
But I'm saying,
like a one-of-a-kind thing that's
I've
made for you.
Same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's totally the Kellys that I have. Though,
but it's a factory.
The Kelly Bird came much faster. I think just
that's because we got
skip the line.
No, don't say that.
Oh no,
we don't skip the line.
No.
Don't look at you.
Completely fair.
We'll edit that out.
We don't do that. Dave, shut up.
Shut up, Dave.
Shut up, Dave.
Okay, so then what happened was, I got that guitar, and Dave was at my place, and he played it, and he texted me, "This is the greatest guitar I've ever played in my life."
Yeah, to be clear, he wasn't at his place when I was at his place.
He just went in the closet and he pulled it out. And
and
so then, like, Dave's been trying to get a Frenchy Warren DeMartini guitar, which is the one that has French writing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been discouraging him because the French is totally incorrect.
That doesn't matter. I mean,
what does it actually?
It's supposed
to actually say then.
It's supposed to say like too young to die, too fast to live, too young to die, or something.
Yeah,
and
it says something like, "I am fast and alive. Soon I die." Or something.
Yeah.
Not
too
really.
fast living bee, or like it's like totally.
Oh, I think you should get it.
He's gonna get it.
You have to get it.
I think I will. Just because it's why not. I have to get rid of something though. I have like literally no room for any guitars.
But then
I have to get rid of half of my belongings.
You do. But then as these things go, like 3 weeks ago, it probably was around the last time we saw each other, Dave got on the cross swords Warren DeMartini obsession.
I don't even.
How did it happen?
Oh, I know what happened.
How did this start?
Somehow, I was talking to my girlfriend. We were talking about the George Lynch bomber guitar, and she was like, "That's the coolest one." And then you and I were debating which was cooler.
Did you ever want the skull?
I want them all. The only one I don't want is the bomber one. It just doesn't. I mean, maybe as a completist, I would have it. But I don't like it. And plus, I don't remember. Can't recall any video he plays it in.
The bomber?
Yeah, and I never don't think, I don't know. I've seen them live. I never see him play it live. He used that guitar on the whole first record. But interestingly, to me only, is in an interview about the Frenchy guitar, he said that it was introduced during like around Reach for the Sky, which is not true because it's in the You're in Love video, which is the second album, of course.
We're gonna Mike and our friend Mike Hickey, who is
he's here.
He's coming. Our friend Mike Hickey. I
Micus.
I sent
Mike
him.
Hickey. There he is.
Yeah. Imagine a world where only guitars mattered.
What's up, dudes? We getting the band back together or what?
Mike, Cindy, Mike.
Hi, Cindy. Indeed.
So I sent out a sort of like a gear lifeline to our friend Mike here because he knows, I think, is it fair to say Mike knows more about Charvel guitars than any person on the planet?
I would say even more than Wayne Charvel himself.
Well, we won't get into the Wayne Charvel history lesson.
I think we have to, just based on the fact that you just said that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you the short story. Everything we know about Charvel is because of Grover Jackson.
Whoa.
So, short story is Wayne screwed guitars together. He didn't make necks. He didn't make bodies. He had a repair shop. Grover jumps on board, buys the company circa 78, starts building his own guitars out of probably some Boogie Bodies parts. He's got Mike Eldred on board. There's like those two guys, maybe Todd Krause from the custom shop at Fender. And then Grover gets a pin router and starts making necks. And then the rest is history. Eddie gets mad because Grover's selling black and yellow guitars.
Eddie Van
Halen, yes.
Well,
yeah, there's only, I mean, yeah, or Edward. And so then everybody buys a Charvel, right? History is made. Every other company follows suit, copies Grover's ideas, from the 2 1/4-inch neck heel to the swimming pool route underneath the pickguard to the cast metal neck plate. And that's everybody from Gibson to Hamer to BC Rich to Washburn, Epiphone, everybody. Grover changed everything.
Wow.
Mike Eldred, who used to run the Fender custom shop, once told me that he was actually, he was there when Dave Gilmour came in and they put the
from Pink Floyd. I just do this for the listener.
The neck on the black
guitar
is a Charvel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then what? Fender logo on it?
Yeah, probably.
And he just sold that at auction, I think.
Yes.
And donated all the money.
And also Stevie Ray Vaughan's, maybe it's called Lenny, the guitar with the inlay on the face.
Yeah.
That has a Charvel neck too.
Get out. Now you're just talking bullshit.
Well, I mean, I haven't even started drinking, so this is all facts.
Jimmy Page's
double
his Outrider telly
that he played on the first Led Zeppelin album was actually Charvel neck.
Can you confirm that, Mike?
Well, I mean, I would like to think that is what I was hearing. Because I can hear the tonal difference from a Charvel neck to a Fender neck all day long.
Same.
So
yeah,
how deep in? Because the reason we have you here is that Dave recently got a USA Charvel Cross Swords Warren DeMartini guitar, and
the Cross Swords.
Yes, he was copying
the coolest one, right?
Well, I know that's a Dave Hill hobby.
He got it because he was copying me because I had the
float on down the river.
Because I have the Blood and Skulls,
right?
And so that volley had to be returned by Dave.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask you about is Warren DeMartini's sort of history with Charvel. I mean, this is a little in the weeds, but I like to be in the weeds. Like, were they reaching out to people like Warren, or did everybody just know that you go to Charvel to get a good guitar in 1982, or like how did it?
So you got Eddie first, and then he's never using Charvels again. All that parts stuff was like boogie bodies that Eddie jammed together and spray painted. You got Lynch with the Tiger. That's a boogie body's body, probably with a Charvel neck at the time. And then, of course, George uses a Charvel. And then, of course, Rat shows up, and you've got, the king, Robin Crosby. So Robin's on board. Juan's on board with the Charvel basses, which he's still playing, I guess, in some incarnation of the third cousins of Rat or something. And then, of course, Warren, okay, we'll go right to the video, Round and Round. So in the video, Warren's got the blood and skulls, and I sent you the picture he's got 2 blood and skulls. Obviously, I think the neck was for a prop, because he's going to smash through the ceiling and knock the dinner table all to pieces. Then they put a real Strat head neck on there with a Floyd. And another side note about Warren's necks is I believe they were around 2 inches wide instead of 1 3/4, or slightly under 2 inches, but they were very, very wide.
Huh.
This one is super wide too. They're wide.
That's not as wide though, because
that's not that wide, Tom. Honestly,
there's space on either side of the Floyd Rose nut.
Yes, and he's also probably using the R3 nut, which is 1 5/8, which is a fun thing to do, because then your strings aren't going to fall off the fretboard when you're ripping those great solos, with your cool hairdos and everything,
So wait, there's a R3 nut. What is that?
There's 3 sizes of nut.
A Floyd Rose nuts?
Yeah, 1 5/8,
Save my
1
life.
11/16, 1 3/4.
So what you're saying is that they made that guitar, the blood and skulls, for the video, and that the original neck was like just a prop neck, and then it became a real guitar. Is that your understanding?
From what I can tell, because I kept stopping the video to try and match the blood splatter, because I got nothing else to do in life except worry about that shit.
That is a man with time on
fucking Charvel Zapruder.
Yeah. And so I think it's the same body, but obviously there's a vintage trem in the video, and he's got 2 blood and skulls as in the picture from back in the day. So I'm going to guess they maybe just gave him the guitar for the vid, and then he's like, I want to put a real neck on this and a Floyd Rose. And, then of course, then he ends up with the Cross Swords guitar. He's got the French painted thing. He's got the snake skin, which, we brought up in private conversation about performance guitars. And I think around 87, Warren's on the cover of Guitar Player with the snake skin. And, he's being super cool because he's not just posing. He's got the guitar like up here, like, I'm so cool, I carry my guitar up here.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
On his shoulder.
But in his defense, he is that cool.
Well, he's ridiculous. I mean, sick guitar player, sick vibrato, great tone, phrasing, haircut is still good.
Yeah, to this day.
Yeah. And he's probably still just sitting around cashing checks for those songs. Lay It Down. He has to be just like buying cars with that song, right?
Yeah, that's a hot one.
Yeah.
So at what point do guitarists start like really realizing that they should be getting like royalties on these, like, guitar? How did that, like signature models?
I'm gonna guess, okay, other than Les Paul himself, that stuff really started with Vi.
Ah, right.
Wouldn't you say like that? The Vi guitar, the Gem, is probably the most successful signature guitar. Because if we have a Slash Les Paul, so what?
Right.
Whoa. It's cold.
It's cold in Norway.
Man, oh man.
But you know what I mean? No offense to Slash, but
I'm sure none taken from him.
Yeah, he doesn't care what I think.
We're going to have to edit this out so we can secure the booking.
Oh, you're trying to get Slash on there?
Well, now all we're going to get is DJ Ashba, thanks to you.
Oh, man. That's colder than anything.
So is he an actual DJ?
We'll never know.
We'll never know. So it's Vi. Got it. So, I mean, I know that you don't actually have a whole house full of Charvels, but you kind of do, right? I mean, sort of.
How many do you have, Mike?
I've been there. He has a lot.
How many do you have, actually?
Whoa.
Well, right now there's 6 out right now.
That's out.
Yeah, but in total.
Oh, I have 18, including basses and Telecasters.
I think you win the Charvel contest.
No, I know some guys who are private, like, you wouldn't even, you'd see him in the grocery store and you'd be like, that guy doesn't have a Charvel at all. In fact, he only has a ukulele.
And then 40 of them.
Yeah, I know a guy with well over 100.
Really?
Oh.
Who?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Come on, who is it?
Wayne Charvel.
Wayne Charvel. Wayne Charvel has left the company.
What is it about? Do you think that, like, compared to like Kramer's or who else, ESP, or is it a superior instrument? I mean, clearly you seem to think so, but why?
Okay, well, a Kramer was, they were never made in the USA, right? Those are parts made in Japan or in Canada.
And then what? Assembled in Neptune, New Jersey?
Yeah, probably screwed together there. And what they had was they had the exclusive rights to the Floyd Rose. So, like in 1983, I call up Joanne Jackson and I want to get a Rhodes guitar with a Floyd, and she's like, "Well, we can't do that. We can do it with a Kahler." And I'm like, "What did I ever do to you?"
Cold.
Oh, I have something to say about the Kahler, no matter.
Is it positive or negative?
Honestly, it's positive, but it's the first one that I use, and it's on a bass.
I have a bass with a Kahler.
I haven't done anything with a guitar with a Kahler on any of my builds, but I just did the first Tremolo bass, 30-inch scale. It's super adjustable. It's just awesome, honestly. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it's got side to side with the saddles up and down. Yeah. And then you hit the bar and everything's out of tune. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mine's staying in tune. I don't know.
I can't think of a single recording where someone has used tremolo on bass to like dramatic.
Oh, probably Raven.
That's the drummer has a hockey helmet.
Well, that was, yeah, but now they're on like their 14th drummer or something, like Spinal Tap.
Don't they just give the new guy the helmet?
That would be great.
One more thing before we got there tonight. You got to put this helmet on.
That way it seems like it's the same guy.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I have the Kahler Trem on a Charvel Explorer bass, which is the stupidest purchase I ever made.
Charvel, oh my gosh.
It's huge. It's gigantic. I can't even reach the tuner.
That's like some Rudy Sarzo shit right there.
You got to make that next.
Whoa.
But see, that's something we've discussed earlier on this show. I think I mentioned it. Is that's why you don't see that suddenly between 83 and like 85, everybody's got a Kahler. Because nobody can.
That's it.
Well, this is. I think Mike, you and I have discussed this. I think we did the Hendrick generator that I have.
Yeah, that's sexy.
It's super sexy. That has a Floyd Rose on it that was made by Kahler. Because at one point, Floyd Rose had to farm out their work to Kahler to keep up, right?
Well, no, what it was is everybody
scoop here.
Everybody was not down with the Kahler roller bridge, flat, giant piece of metal. And so Kahler expanded and licensed the basic Floyd design.
That would happen.
And then you'll see like later on when Ibanez comes out with the Edge Tremolo, circa 87, that says licensed by Floyd Rose.
Oh.
So Floyd was smart enough to go, look, these are my ideas and I'm patenting them. And he also made the exclusive deal with Kramer back at the time, you know, late 83-ish. And those are all made by Schaller in Germany. And therefore, you also see Kramer's have Schaller pickups, Schaller tuners, and the Schaller made Floyd Rose at the time. You know, it was a group effort.
Don't you think the Kahler tremolo, that's like the Pepsi of tremolos, though? Or even like the RC Cola of tremolos. Like you see it and you're like, that. I don't.
Yeah, like you'd find it in Iowa.
Yeah, you're like, that's not my first choice.
But yeah, like if you're New York or LA, you want a Floyd Rose, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're highbrowing that shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's like buying like a heritage guitar.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But there are some players, I feel like the sound of Def Leppard Hysteria, which I like that, like does not exist without a Kahler. It's a different.
No, because he's on Floyd Rose's that album.
Steve Clark is not on Floyd Rose.
Steve Clark, he didn't use.
He had Kahlers in his Les Pauls.
No, he didn't.
What? He did.
And like, you know, the dive bomb hammer-on in Pyromania. That's a Kahler, I think, and that's Phil Collin, I believe, doing that. You know, or I want to believe
on
it.
The Destroyer.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have left the Ibanez Pro Rocker trem on there, right?
No, he's not a mom.
Because that thing's horrible. But the Pro Rocker is how Ibanez are getting around trying to get a Floyd Rose, but then they finally come up with the Ibanez Edge. And then, of course, then Vi shows up and he's the super endorser. And then they drag in Satriani and Gilbert, right? And look at Gilbert. He converted shit over to Kahlers. He liked them.
Yeah, like on the back of the Racer X records, Paul Gilbert has Kahlers on the pink guitar, right?
Yeah. And, you know, one of those guitars, it's actually an Epiphone that he painted, you know, and it had the Kahler and it had the mini humbucker, and it started out like a horrible, you know, Epiphone brownish color. And then he put stickers and mirrors all over it. Then he painted it fluorescent. And then Ibanez copied it and made the green and the pink one that he and Bruce played, matching guitars.
Wow.
Bruce Bouillet.
Yes, who's devastating on the guitar.
Right now is just like thinking about how we have like 20 new old stock Floyd Roses in the original boxes in the shop. I'm just I'm going to end up doing a Floyd Rose build.
I think you have to. Yeah.
I think you should do an eBay auction and make some real bread.
We're going to make some.
Send them over here. I'll sell that.
What's the street value of an original new old stock Floyd Rose?
I'm going to say if it was mine and I'm going to sell it to you.
Right.
It's somewhere around $350.
Okay.
In the box. If you have the earlier version without fine tuners, I've sold those for up to $1,000 for just the bridge.
Wow.
And then when they first get fine tuners, it's called a whale tail, and the saddles are wider and cruder. And I sold one of those a couple years ago for $2,000.
Do you have whale tails in the shop, Cindy?
Might.
Do you know?
I might not tell you. I don't know.
Tom's going to be coming downtown a lot.
Find out eventually, Tom.
Can I see the whale tail? So, which one do you think is the coolest?
Oh yeah, this is why we have. This is why
which is the
really
coolest Warren DeMartini custom graphic?
I like all the DeMartinis because they remind me of being a kid. And like going, wow, those guys, like LA was a mythical place that these guitar people showed up from. you know, and I'm in Massachusetts, and I don't, you know, we don't dress cool. We can't, you know, my parents aren't going to let me grow my hair super long and get a perm or something, you know, so I got to wait till I'm 18 and catch up to everyone. And, you know, and then I got this horrible haircut and, you know, band pictures and stuff. But what I did have was a guy.
Did you have a mullet?
I wouldn't call it a mullet. I mean, it's heading that way now.
Right.
But
Majestic. I mean, you were in the sort of sexy era of the first go round with Venom. Was like when it was like Sunset Strip Venom.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, that's because I showed up with all those stupid clothes that I bought in Hollywood. I thought I was supposed to wear those.
What if we all did that?
We should do it now.
I mean, this is look at this.
Was it a picture of Venom back then?
Featuring a young Mike Hickey with an Ibanez. No, it's a Jackson.
Is it red?
Yeah, red Jackson.
That's an Ibanez.
Oh, it is.
PL 2550 neck through body, which was my first endorsement guitar ever.
Wow.
And then the airline broke the headstock, so we glued it together, and I gave that guitar to Cronos so he could write evil riffs on it for the rest. He probably still has it because he's too cheap to buy stuff, you know.
Whoa.
So much for Cronos.
Just driving off.
So who have we lost? Cronos.
I don't worry, you're not missing anything there. Oh dear me. Who else do you want to get rid of?
So, okay, Jackson and Charvel. When does that become a thing together, and when does it re-separate?
It becomes a thing when Randy Rhoads shows up to build the Concorde, and Grover doesn't want to screw up the branding with this new guitar that's neck through. So they go, well, let's just call it a Jackson, and we'll make this pointy headstock, and we'll let all the bolt-on guitars will be Charvels, and all the neck through guitars will be Jacksons. And then, of course, we're all rushing to order a Jackson Rhodes immediately, you know, late 83. I get mine in like May of 84. It's built. And I had to mail the Floyd Rose. I went and bought it at EU Wurlitzer in Boston on Newbury Street. And I mailed that thing out to Grover. And then a few months later, I get this giant white pointy monster of a guitar with tiny little frets. And I'm like, what are these frets? What happened? And then I realized that Randy likes little frets, but I don't.
How do you feel about neck through versus bolt on?
I lean towards bolt on or glued on. You know, but the soloist is a revolutionary invention, making a smaller strat body, neck through the body. Then Jackson has his own design instead of just a strat, you know, which let's go down the line. You want to lose some more guys to come on your show. Let's go an Anderson, a Soar, a Tyler. They're all strats, right? They're just refined strats and if you look at the headstocks of an Anderson and a Soar, they're pretty much the Kramer Beak headstock, which, you know, very similar.
I didn't think Kramer Beak headstocks were going to be dragged into this conversation.
Well, I don't want to leave anyone out.
Here we are.
We can offend any company you want. I'm above endorsements at this point.
Did you ever have a guitar wrapped in animal hide like Warren DeMartini's snakeskin guitar?
No, but brings up a good point. That guitar, going back to when he was on the cover in 87, the 12th fret dot spacing is wider than a Charvel or a Jackson would be. So I think that was a performance neck.
Wow, this is deep. How are you?
I mean, I don't know.
How are you?
I don't know.
Walking
around measuring 12 fret
knowledge.
dots.
I mean, God, you just double lock your door at night, I would hope.
I don't even lock the doors here, and all the cases are labeled. So if you're going to steal a guitar, just put it in the right case, because I don't want the case left behind.
All right, this is good to know. I've been to Mike's house, and it's impressive.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad.
No, I'm talking about the guitar. The house is great too. But I'm saying just the guitarsenal.
The guitarsenal. Yeah, very good.
Trademark that.
Yeah, I mean, I used to live in the Guitarment, which was an apartment filled with guitars.
Yeah, Mike texts me a picture of the Guitarment. It
didn't have like a giant neon sign in it.
He had this apartment that basically looks like a guitar store in 1987 with like neon signs and today. But you have like all the like the banners and neon signs set from that era.
Yeah, and that was a takeoff from Bonamassa, because we're going shopping all the time and buying anything we can get our hands on, right?
Yeah.
And of course, he's buying much nicer things than me, and it's in his budget, and
he's doing all right.
Let me just interject that Mike was the guitar technician for Joe Bonamassa, thus to provide some context.
Yeah, and I'm also still a late night guitar gossiper with him just about every 3 days. So,
if we could get some screenshots.
Well, we could ruin both our careers if any of the stuff we're talking about gets let loose.
But you send me a picture of the Guitarment, and I was like, is that Yngwie's Strat in the corner? And he was like, yeah. It had one of Yngwie's Strats.
Yeah, I bought it at Guitar Center with no documentation.
What? That's not true.
Yeah.
I thought you bought it from Yngwie, you told me.
No. But I bought it, and then I went to dinner with Yngwie, and I said, hey, I've got one of your Strats. And he goes, yeah, aren't they great, man? And I was like, okay, I guess he doesn't want to know this. So
wait, he just stonewalled the conversation?
He was just thinking I went and bought a signature model. And I accidentally ended up with one of his guitars. Those Ferraris need to have the oil changed every few weeks or something.
Yeah.
And he's got like 5 of them. So you got to offload a cream Strat to pay for that stuff.
Was it scalloped? The fretboard?
It's scalloped. And the thing is, well, first of all, the name in the computer at GC was his tech's name who sold it. So maybe the tech was gifted it. Maybe it got light lifted out of the room, or he was sent there to dump some junk. But under the pick guard, all the pickups have writing on them with revision numbers for Seymour Duncan. They were test pickups for Yngwie, and the wiring job looks like Yngwie did it.
Is he a clean wirer?
Which means
I'll send you a picture of that later.
Now, do you say that because you're familiar with Yngwie's wire work, or do you say that based on everything you're like, yeah, this looks like
does he solder with the Fury?
Either that, or he's standing there with the tech going, hurry up, I have 1,000 arpeggios to lay on you. Let's plug this revision 19 pickup in.
Was the wiring influenced by Paganini?
Easily by Paganini after a session at the pub.
Okay.
And we don't want to cancel Yngwie because you can't cancel someone who's on a mountain of his own. You know?
Yeah.
So rewind. How do you get access? Do you have like a hack in, like a modem where you can see the Guitar Center computer? Like, how did you?
No, they said that was Yngwie's guitar. And I'm like, well, then prove it. Why the hell would he sell the guitar to you? Right? Because he's going to sell that thing with some letter of authenticity, so he can get another Rolex or something, right? He's got to wear 2 Rolexes to figure out the timing between all the licks, right? So they show me the dude. I know the dude who was the tech, and I see his name. I'm like, okay. Then I take it apart. I see the writing, and I send a picture to Seymour Duncan, and that guy's like, that's my handwriting.
Wow.
So that's good enough for me.
All right.
And, I can never prove it, but what have I don't need to make that up.
Why would you make that up?
No, it's a great story. An hour after I bought it, I went back to rehearsal, and our mutual friend, Steve Gibb, comes over, and I tell him the story, and he's like, oh, that sounds totally practical here in Miami,
Oh, you were in Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Totally.
Oh,
you
you
buried the lead.
Yeah. What the fuck? You buy a scallop strat in Miami, statistically speaking, a cream strat in Miami that's scalloped.
Yeah, or a Ferrari that's needs work, right?
Pick guard. Yeah. Come on.
Amazing.
Who else
Just
is
amazing.
like Joey Tofola in Miami or something?
Oh shit. That's funny. I have that record out of the
Chris
sun.
Impellitteri is also in Miami selling scallop strats. No.
Wait.
Wow.
Chris is he doesn't play scalloped.
He probably did.
I think he did on the cover of the Impellitteri record with Graham Bonnet, but I could be wrong.
He's ripping.
He's so good.
Where do you stand on Chris Impellitteri? Just because we're trying to book him on the show.
Oh well, I think he's amazing.
No, we haven't tried to book him, but I mean this.
Oh, if you want to get sometime, we should. Well, we'll talk in private about all of these guys.
Oh man, he's sus. He was about to shit talk.
All I can say is like, there's a reason some of these guys aren't at the next level. You know, there's a reason Yngwie's where he's at. There's a reason that Nuno's where he's at. These are iconic guys. They're not just super fast or something, and they write songs that we remember.
You have to have this. You have to have the songs.
Yeah. I mean, you could be a mediocre rock guitarist, and if you have a good riff, you know. And I don't know any mediocre rock guitarists. I'll just say that so nobody's feelings are hurt.
You're looking at least two of them right now. Me and.
Oh, come on! Now that you got both are toting Charvels, I mean, your ability must be. Cindy, do you have a Charvel?
I do not.
Well, you can just build whatever you want anyway and put Charvel on it.
Yeah.
Sindvel.
I can make whatever thing I want with all kinds of Kahlers and
and new old stock Floyd.
I think slapping a Kahler on it is a good way to keep it around the shop for a good long while.
Yeah, any shop.
Honestly,
yeah.
You guys are going to have to come play that bass. I'm sorry. It's really good.
I believe you.
Yeah, we're not doubting.
They're talking shit.
Also, anyone who wants to play my bass, they can just buy it and get it out of my friggin' house.
No, we're into it.
Kahler. That's the Kahler. That's which
Take your bass trim.
I have a Hamer with a Kahler. That's pretty awesome.
No, my point is no bass needs a trim, period, of any.
I disagree with you. Now that I've built one.
Hey, Mike, by the way, you want a double cut Hamer with the yellow stripes and a Kahler?
You can't start like
trying to do deals. I got to do some deals.
You know what Hamer I want.
I know. I sold it.
And I'm going to pay you far less than you want.
I was negotiating with Mike about a guitar sale, and then I sold it to somebody else because he was destroying me.
Who did you sell to? Rick Nielsen?
I don't even know. Hamer 0049.
You sold that?
Yeah. Well, you.
What a jerk! I thought you were my friend.
You were trying to give me like $7 for it.
Well, maybe with a couple of zeros on there, right?
Yeah, $700.
Yeah, but if you would have authenticated the dollars, you could put them on eBay. Former Venom guitarist singles.
I just knew that because it had Seymour Duncan's in it and the finish, he was just going to beat the shit out of me. He's mad at me now. Look at him. You can't see, but like that guy is.
He's like, it's like, oh, the connection's bad.
I wish I had my incredibly valuable Hamers that are easily worth $20,000 a piece sitting here right now.
Yeah. Oh well. I had 17 too. You know that, right?
17 Hamer.
I had Hamer 0017. That's on the cover of the Hamer book now.
Oh.
I have the book right here.
I sold that guitar to a dude in a parking lot.
The one on the cover?
Yeah, that was my guitar.
I think you have to pay with cash in a parking lot.
The cover of the I owned 0017. Can I tell you something about 0017? Wasn't that good?
You know what?
I'm gonna corral you back. I'm gonna corral you back.
We're done.
You know what it is?
Now.
They were learning that.
Dave flagged us. Dave is like, take it to the texts.
Got to keep it on the track.
I know. All right.
Yeah, do you have anybody calling in?
Yeah,
for any advice?
His power power went
it's
up.
funny you ask. Yngwie, you're on with Mike.
Hey, your signature guitars are so great, and you're the first signature artist of Fender before Eric Clapton.
Thank you. I deserved it because I'm a genius. How's my Yngwie?
You're pretty good at it.
I am the best at playing guitar with many bracelets.
Oh my. Well, he's definitely not coming on the show.
All right, dude. Well, I now feel like I can fucking knowledge destroy a lot of people in Charvel conversations, thanks to you.
Yeah, well, I just had a guy write to me on eBay about a Charvel, and he asked me if I could get Michael Charvel to write a letter of authenticity, and I said, well, what's it got to do with him? He wasn't even born.
That's the son?
Yeah.
So have you guys seen the Charvel doc? We can't even go down this road, but on Tubi, there's a Charvel documentary.
Right.
And it's the biggest piece of shit. We can't use any of this, but there's no actual Charvels in the documentary.
Oh.
All right. And they've got kind of those cast off guys that work there, because nobody, why aren't they talking just to Grover? If you want to know really all about Charvel, Dean Del Rey has a thing called the Grail podcast, and he has 2 episodes with Grover Jackson. And it's very informative, very historical, and it'll reiterate a lot of the stuff we've discussed.
Cool.
Not to promote another podcast on your podcast.
No, this is a better podcast. I haven't heard that. I like it, but this is a better podcast.
Well, you're obviously, all better dressed.
Not today, but in general. Yes.
I was going to wear my Dangerous Snakes t-shirt.
You should always.
Thank you for popping on at such short notice and for sharing your.
Yeah, and we can badmouth everybody offline. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we could start now while we're still online. Yeah. Thank you, dude. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm gonna go smash some sushi up.
All right, do it.
Do it. Say hey to the guy for me. Say hey to Cronos for me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get him on your show.
See you later.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. I think we should just have Mike on every episode.